From what I'm seeing, I understood that even some voters who left their home, they don't have candidate they want to vote for. What they care about is if I get there, anybody that approach me and give me anything, that person I go vote for. There are a lot of them like that. I've seen them in the videos. Talking about anybody will give them money, now the person will go vote for. Saying vote is for sale. Who want to pay? Let him come and pay. We vote for the person. These are citizens. They are the same citizens who will put on their ring light and begin to castigate government. That government is not building road. They are not securing them. They kidnap people in their community. Why wouldn't they kidnap people from your community? Because that man, you collected his 10K and voted for, has gone in. That billions he spent to share across the country to be in that position. The first thing he will do is to start awarding fake contracts to be able to get his money back. That's the way it works. It's give and take. So don't expect that when you collect the money and still vote for that person will enter and think about you. It's not possible. There's no politician that throw money away. No. Any money you see a politician spend, once he enter that position, he must get that money back, whichever means necessary. So when you are selling your conscience, selling your vote, selling your future, selling the destiny of your children for 4 packs of Indomie or for 5K, what will 5K even buy in Nigeria today? What will 10K buy in Nigeria today? Stop collecting money and voting for the wrong people. You have to stop this trajectory of people sharing money just to win a position in government. Because there's no way they enter in that position, they will serve you. They cannot. It's not possible. They won't serve you. They will serve themselves. They must get that return on investment no matter how. Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. So on the 20th of June 2026, an off-cycle gubernatorial election was held in Ekiti State, and the incumbent governor, Biodu Oyebanji, was returned as the winner of the election, having scored about almost 320,000 votes, and the PDP candidate, scored about 40,000 plus votes, and the ADC candidate also scored about 12,000 plus votes. So, as it stands, the incumbent governor is retaining his seat for the next 4 years. So, I think this is going to be like a motivation for other governors who they come from PDP to join the ADC, like the Akwa Ibom governor, the Delta State governor, the Enugu State governor, the River State governor, and the rest of them like that. So, this one, who has won his own seat back, who has retained his position, is going to motivate others to also have the confidence and the belief that when their own election comes, they too, going to retain their own position. And that's majorly the reason why most of them, they come to join, the APC. Probably what I'm trying to look at now is, the process, because there are quite a whole lot of information that was coming out, during the election on that, fateful day. There have been some reports, on how the election was conducted, especially as it concerns INEC, as it concerns vote buying, and also the way and manner the citizens of the states were kind of degraded, if I may use that that word, because we saw videos where a bus moving with some other vehicles behind them, and they are throwing pieces of bread from the window to the people, and the people were kind of rushing to grab them and all of that. So it's kind of demeaning, and it's so pathetic to see that video. So, and we begin to think if this is the reason they are weaponizing poverty upon the people. They create policies that can impoverish the people so that the people will follow whatever they do because they don't have a choice. When a man is hungry, he's ready to do anything, he's ready to compromise, he's ready to throw away his dignity just because he just needs some food, because he needs food to survive, and that is the point. So when I was watching that clip, seeing how they are flinging bread through the windows and you see people rushing to pick the bread, I mean, I was wondering, when did we get to this situation? Even when we had the social adjustment program then, SAP, it wasn't as bad as what I'm seeing on that video. How people were just scrambling for a piece of bread. That tells you that there's hunger in the land, So, but I think politicians need to do better, in terms of focusing more on the welfare of the citizens, not just building, infrastructure like, buildings, just buildings, because they pride in building 12 flyover, they pride in building one school building that no student is inside. They're proud of building one big hospital that there are no facility, nobody is using. So I think it's time they need to change their focus to looking at key things that improves the lives and welfare of the citizen, especially things that can, bring down the level of hunger in the country, things that can empower the people so that they can, fulfill their potential. So I think it's time for them to start looking at that perspective, because the other time I was, watching the Senate President Godswill Akpabio when he went to commission a project in the FCT. He was talking about that they built the Nigeria Revenue Service building. I mean, when you listen to what some of them say, you keep wondering, what did they even understand about development? What did they even understand about taking care of the welfare of the citizens, which is the second function of government, security of lives and property, and taking care of the welfare of the citizens. So these are the two key things they need to do. Building, and Nigeria Revenue Service building is secondary. It has nothing to do with the entire citizen. It's just a comfort for the workers in that place, basically. So the fact remains that if Nigerians have, gotten to the level that people just, even the person throwing the bread, it means he does not even value the citizen. Because if he valued them, he would have parked the vehicle by the side and distribute the bread hand to hand for them. But flinging it out of the bus, and the thing will fall on the ground. Let's assume the leather, the package tears off and sand mix up with the bread and all of that. So think about that. So it's so demeaning. And anybody that, brought that strategy, please respect Nigerians, respect the citizens, and respect the dignity of a human being. That is my point on that particular video, because it saddened my heart, when I saw that. All right, so many other things that now have to deal with the election. So that's the next stage we are going to go into this video, and let's pick them one after the other and examine what happened and how we expect to tackle them, so that in the next other election, there's still an off-cycle election coming up in Osun State, right? And after that, I think there's the general election in January down the line. I also knew that they held some senatorial and National Assembly election basically in some states. I think Enugu and the rest of them. So let's look at the outcome of this election, and then we'll be able to wrap up the video. So, but before I go into that, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell, so that when my next new video drops, you'll be among those that will be notified. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, and thank you for helping and supporting this channel to grow. Okay, so now let's look at some of the key components of what people have complained in that election. Now, the major issue that came up in Ekiti State election is vote buying. Vote buying. And from the video I saw, there are two forms of the vote buying, which I will explain in this video. First, we will look at this video from Isaac, Ayofayoshe. He made this video showcasing how, official of APC, or Progressive Congress, was distributing voters card to people. And as he's distributing the voters card, according to the video, he said that those recipients of those voters card, one, are non-indigenous of the states. So, two, that they also give them inducement of about 20,000 naira so that they can collect the voters card and go to vote in the election. And when you remember what happened, you understand that there are incidences of beavers failure. The beavers was not working in some, major places in the state. Some of them, they said it wasn't recognizing, fingerprints and all of that. So, but we're going to talk about beavers separately. But why I'm drawing in beavers here is that when you look at those people that receive those voters cards to go and vote, right? It means during accreditation, their facial image will not match the ID. So maybe in those areas where those people are to vote are partly the places they have mentioned that the beavers failed, so that they will do manual accreditation and pass those people to vote. That's where I'm thinking from now. So because you can't get a non-indigent to come and vote in a polling booth where he or she did not register. And in that video, it beholds that what Isaac Fayoshe was trying to emphasize upon is that those guys were working in tandem, with the election body, because how did they get those voters cards? That is the question you ask yourself. How did they have access to collect those bunch of voters cards they were distributing in that video, that we're about to watch now? So, anyways, so that it's better as we are talking, we are matching it with, the video, so that we understand, where I'm coming from. So let's watch this video from, Isaac Fayoshe is from Ekiti State also, and they was there, on ground. Let's watch this video and we'll be right back.
No party can win election in Nigeria. I repeat, no party, no election can change this government. Look at what they've done in Ekiti. They said people that didn't collect their voters card, they are only 30,000. They are more than that. They are over 400,000. What they did, they now gave the cards to APC. The same way Larry Wike's essay enter INEC server, brought out EK's details. They have entered in Ekiti, collected on the voters card that were abandoned. They now got non-indigens from the states. They now gave them 20,000 to be using the cards to vote. Watch it. You are watching it. You are seeing APC. You see bar on their cap. So now these are non-indigens from Ekiti. Non-indigens. So INEC gave APC the cards that people didn't collect. They are now sharing the cards to non-indigens and giving them 20,000 with it to go and vote. Even though the picture is not their picture, it's only the card. They will just go there, use the card. Even the thumb printing does not work. They've removed that. So you can see why Boko Haram, banditry, kidnapping keeps growing in our country, because good people that are meant to change our fortune are being rigged out. Look at this. Does this make sense to you? You are sharing cards to non-indigens, cards that are supposed to be in custody of INEC. You are now sharing them to non-indigens to go and vote. Suddenly, Ikere, that is the second largest, does not produce the second largest vote anymore. They've changed it on their server. So areas that they want to use those cards, their voting strength don't shoot up. Bam! Because they don't go collect your uncollected cards. They don't go collect them, and they are sharing it with 20,000 for people to vote in our states, and they are not registered. So you can see why Nigeria no feel good. Election cannot change governments in this country. I swear to God. Because if we are like this, Omo, Otibaluje, the country is gone.
All right, welcome back. So you heard what Isaac just said in that video, and you saw with your eyes how voters card was distributed. So the question I'm asking is, where did that man sharing that voters card, where did he get it from? You collect voters card from INEC, and there's no way you will collect bunch of voters card. You only collect your own. So it's only INEC that has bunch of voters cards, people that registered that have not collected their voters card. INEC is the only body that has that quantum of voters card, not individual. I remember during the electoral laws, Mike Guinea, the former INEC rec, was saying it that the way they wrote the electoral law, they have empowered these politicians. If I can remember exactly what he was saying concerning that. Is it that these people went and print their own voters card, or what? Or is it that they collected it from INEC? Is it that they are working in partnership with INEC? Because I'm still questioning myself. How do they get access to this voters card? And even as if I was talking about how, the aid to wicked them, this Lelo Olayenka, we got access to reveal, this actor's information, make it them. So he said probably that's the same channel that we used to, grab all these voters card they are distributing to non-indigent to come and vote. So they imported people. This is the allegation that ICF is putting out there. So, issues of this sensitive nature require serious investigation to uncover what exactly happened. Who is the man sharing the voters card? Where did he get them from? Who are those people he's giving those voters cards? Because anybody coming to vote should come with his voters card from his house. Not when you get to the polling unit, somebody else is distributing voters card to you. That's a very ridiculous, exercise that I saw in that video. And also the allegation of inducing them with money, around 20K. We even saw, one of the lady, I saw another video, the lady was saying that she was giving 5K, some say they were giving 15K. I saw another video from a man, I think he's a PDP, party member, saying that, the PDP won in that polling booth. So it was like, PDP did not give a shishi and they still won APC in that polling booth. So it was celebrating their win in that polling booth, because to him, he has delivered his polling booth. I saw another video of a man talking about how he said to the president came there and beat up his driver, and the guy is now in the hospital. So a whole lot of activities took place during the election. It may not be general. It may be some areas, some snipers of places and all of that, but it's still a concern, because you hardly hear that America is conducting an election. They are beating people or they are sharing voters card. Or they have their own way of doing things, but everything will still go seamlessly, right? But our climb, there's always issue. If it's not vote buying, it's snatching of ballot box. I think that one has reduced now. or it's about beavers not working on. A lot of concern comes up during our election. And my point making this video is bringing all this information out so that they can be able to, work towards addressing this problem, so that in subsequent election, it will be that we see Nigeria will start seeing some, level of improvement. But my problem is that our politicians, they don't care. What they just care is to win. Just let their name be announced as winner, and they grab that seat. That's it. Even when they enter, they don't care. It's only President Yaradua who got in and said that the process that brought him there is not credible, and is going to ensure there will be credible platform for election to hold in Nigeria. And they started the reforms. Jonathan also did the reform. That was how you see leaders that care about the country. It's not about them. It's about the progress of the country. But looking at this President Bola Tinubu's administration, he cares about himself. He doesn't care about the country. That's why if you listen to, SDP candidate, presidential candidate, one video, he did, or interview he did, talking about what Tinubu told them. How will he amend the electoral law to favor them when he's also a contestant? That he will do it to favor himself, not them. And if you look at what Akpabio and his team in the National Assembly did in that electoral law, you will know it was designed to favor the executive. Because of President Bola Tinubu, that's why they removed forgery as a crime and remove it from electoral law. Because he had a lot of scandal concerning his certificate. Remember the 2023 Chicago issue. Remember his issue with the primary school he attended, and so on and so forth. So because of him, they removed it. So when you look at how the electoral law was designed, it was tailored to favor Tinubu only, with his key group like this Senate President and the rest of them. That's what it is. Because citizen was clamoring, we want real-time transmission of result. That word real-time, it created a lot of confusion. And I said, okay, remove the word real time. Just put it there that all election results must be uploaded to the server immediately from EC8A is signed by all parties. Simple. If it's the real time that is creating confusion, because real time they think it will be live, it's live. But that's not what the intention was. The intention was that the moment they have signed all the forms, party agents have signed, INEC officials have signed and stamped, then they upload it there. That's all. But no, people did protest still. They didn't do anything. And a whole lot of other things Mike Igini was, bringing up during his interviews in the different TV stations. So it's a concern, this vote buying issue. So that one is part A of vote buying, distributing voters card and inducing people with money to go and vote for the ruling party. The second part of the vote buying is giving people physical cash without voters card, right? But that's people who already have voters card. They are giving them money to go and vote for this. And at some point, EFCC officials came to some of the polling booths, and I saw a video where they are booing him out, kind of chasing him out of the. And there are people are many, and there's one or two EFCC officials, so he has to save his life, because they may, hunt him down and they may start attacking him and all of that. So the guy was quietly walking, away from their midst, So the point is, this is a one-state election, and if they are treating EFCC officials whose job is to, focus on those doing vote buying, and they are chasing him out, then that calls for concern. It calls for concern. So I thought that the EFCC would have overwhelmed the whole place with their officials, since it's just a state. If it's the whole country that's participating in the election, it may be understandable that they don't have enough, adequate manpower. But for this one state, it's supposed to swarm the place with a whole lot of EFCC officials. Then the same thing with the security operatives. So I acknowledge the commissioner of police, who was kind of talking to one of the person that was his driver was attacked, in that video, telling him that he's gonna keep his officers to make sure there's peace and calmness. So generally, some incidents of thuggery came up. When you look at the guys pursuing the EFCC official, it's kind of thuggery. They don't allow people to do what they're supposed to do. So it's kind of thuggery, but it's not like it's too pronounced that they marred the election. No, but there's still some incidents of all those kind of stuff happening. So, but we really need to clean up our electoral system. And when you look at the voter apathy, I think between 34 to 38% of the citizens of the states came to vote, which is kind of still low. Not even up to 50%, still low, not a good size, just minimal basically. So when you look at that, the question is, why are people not coming out to vote? Because they don't believe in the system. They don't believe that their vote will count. They don't believe that the officials of INEC and the government will respect their choices of who they vote for. So that is the point. When the system begins to be more credible now, you will see more voter turnout, because people will now know, if I stand 2 hours or 5 hours till I vote, my vote will count. That is the issue. So, and this is the area the government is supposed to work. And that is what I was expecting to hear on June 12th, Democracy Day, from the speech of the president. It wasn't mentioned. He didn't mention anything talking about what his government has done so far to improve, election transparency, to ensure free and fair and credible election come every election cycle. He did not mention anything, and that's the essence of democracy. Day. What is your government doing to strengthen democracy in your country, to improve what you met? But basically, what he met is pulling it down, because when Buhari, took over from Jonathan, and the system wasn't as bad as it is now. But now, if you look at the electoral law alone, it sends you a whole lot of signal. When Buhari was there, at least forgeries was part of the electoral law. If you forge the result, it's a crime. If you are caught, you'll be out, and so on. So they were there. And so many things Mike again was saying, the improvement they did, from Jonathan's era to Buhari's era, this government came and then destroyed them. Go and watch Mike Guinness interview on different TV stations, Arise News and channels and the rest of them. It's there. So these are the problems they are creating when they are not making the correct laws, the good laws that can forestall some of this thing we are seeing. We have talked about establishing this tribunal, to try election offenders, because like this vote buying thing, like the man sharing voters card we saw in that video, this kind of groups are supposed to be tried in that tribunal and sentenced. So when people go through deterrence, it helps to forestall other people from doing the same thing going forward. Another point that came up in this election was failure of beavers to function. So a whole lot of malfunctioning of beavers. In some cases, they say you can't capture fingerprints. When people are getting older, a lot of stuff, their fingerprints are getting weaker. And even some people that say younger, the kind of job they do, people that work with chemicals, people that work with cement, construction, and, they are not putting all those hand gloves and stuff like that. It affects their fingerprinting. So this is an eye-opener for the government to begin to think of many other dimensions through which somebody can be identified using the beavers, either by picture, they take your face, facial image, it pulls up your data, facial recognition, or fingerprinting or signature. There should be so many other alternatives, or your thumbprint, whatever, just to ensure that they strictly focus on making use of beavers, not manual method. Because when you talk about manual method, I may come from polling station A, go to polling station E. I'm not from that area. And if they use manual, if they already told the official that there are some group of people that is coming to vote for them there, they will just wave you, go through paper and tick. Hey, yes, they give you voters paper, you go and vote. Even when they know you are not from there, that's the problem with the manual. They can wave and pass anybody to go and vote. But if it's the beavers, which is more digital, once your data don't match, then you can't have access to go and vote. That is the point. So they need to improve on that and sort whatever the issue that happened with beavers. Many people were delayed. They spent hours waiting to be accredited because of the failures of that came out from the beaver, the malfunction, of beaver. So it's kind of worrisome and concerning, because the essence of beavers is for faster accreditation and data, storage. I think the INEC need to, go and revisit their system, rework their machine, reset their machine, whatever they need to do. If they need more new machines, they get the new machines. There are billions, allocated for them for all this exercise. So they really have to kind of do all their best to reduce the time it takes to accredit one person, right? Because the shorter the time, the more people can be accredited within a space of few hours, and then voting starts and ends on time instead of dovetailing into the night. Okay, so I didn't hear much issue about transmission of results. I didn't hear much about that. Whether people were able to transmit the result from the polling booth without any hitches and stuff like that. I didn't hear much on that. I think when it comes to the security operatives, the way I saw the commissioner, kind of pacifying the man who was, so bitter that they attacked his security, his drive and all of that. So I think it shows some kind of professionalism. So I don't know about every other area. It's just some of the videos I watched, from News Central, television, and the rest of other videos from other individuals. So, but the fact is that they really need to make this system work so that people's vote can count. Because when people vote don't count, that's when they force leadership on them, and that person they force on them will not care about those people, because he knows they didn't bring him in. So he does what he likes, does anything that he feels good with, doesn't care how people feel about it. And that is why we're not progressing democratically when it comes to our country. So, and the general election is coming the next, almost 6 months, or let's say 5 months plus ahead of us now. So the things that happen in the Ekiti election, the things that happen in the off-cycle election for some of the members of the National Assemblies, that was done the same day on the 20th of June 2026, what lesson have we learned? And what are the recommendations? What are we supposed to do to improve those lessons we have learned? I know that Yaga Africa, other international observers, and the rest of them that were there, they will also come up with what they saw, come up with their recommendations on what government need to fix. So our major problem is this vote buying now. Vote buying, snatching of ballot box has dropped down a little bit. Then this vote buying is a concern because there is high level of poverty in the country. So even if you give persons 2,000, he will still go and vote for who he doesn't want to vote for because he was induced. So we really need to crack down on vote buying. Otherwise, we will still not make headway. So my focus is that citizens should be free to vote who they want to vote. There should not be any inducement of sharing. I saw oneself they gave Indomie, some parts of Indomie in a bag. So what is that all about? So if you are spending millions to share to people to vote for you, what are the people expecting in return? They won't expect anything governance from you because you will first try to work hard to recoup your investment, the money you have shared. And that's why P2B is coming with a different, ball gear. That he doesn't give shish. That he can't give you money for you to vote for him. If you want him to serve you, you vote for him. And that has been shaping, the landscape of our politics recently. But the one of buying the vote on the election day is the one that is a problem now, which we really need to tackle. But I'm still here trying to hinge it on the citizens. You want to vote for PDP, for example, and somebody stopped you and spoke to you, gave you 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira, 20,000 naira, whichever amount, and tells you to vote for his own party. And you bargain with the person, negotiate and accept, collected the money. Instead of voting the PDP that is your conscience, you now go to the polling booth, collect your paper, and then you vote for that party who gave you money. Then you're a stupid person. You're a very foolish person for doing that. So that money they gave to you, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, whatever amount, will that money feed you for the next 4 years? That is the question you should ask yourself. Will that money pay your children's school fees for the next 4 years? Will that money pay your rent for the next 4 years? Will that money secure you the night these killers will invade your community? So these are the questions you ask yourself. If the answer is no, why collect that money and vote that person? So most of the money they are sharing, and most of the money they're already stolen from government, which is our resources. So I have nothing from collecting that money if you want to, but vote the right conscience, the right person you want to vote for. Don't let that money you collected be your deciding factor. No. Let it not be what we decide who you vote for. You left your house, you have in mind who you want to vote for. And from what I'm seeing, I understood that even some voters who left their home, they don't have candidate they want to vote for. What they care about is if I get there, anybody that approach me and give me anything, that person I go vote for. There are a lot of them like that. I've seen them in the videos. Talking about anybody will give them money, now the person will go vote for. Saying vote is for sale. Who want to pay? Let him come and pay. We vote for the person. These are citizens. They are the same citizens who will put on their ring light and begin to castigate government. That government is not building road. They are not securing them. They kidnap people in their community. Why wouldn't they kidnap people from your community? Why? Because that man, you collected his 10K and voted for, has gone in. That billions is spent to share across the country to be in that position. The first thing he will do is to start awarding fake contracts to be able to get his money back. So by the time he will do all these things, the 4 years has passed. There will be no development because all the money he has mopped it up for himself and his family. That's the way it works. It's give and take. So don't expect that when you collect the money and still vote for that person, that person will end and think about you. It's not possible. No, it's not possible. That's what they call return on investment. That is why P2B's effort is to kill this kind of money-back politics, where people use money to buy positions, influence people, and gain access to power. No. Because P2B was clear. If I spend billions to share to you people to vote for me, if I enter there, you are telling me to steal government money, to recoup my money back. There's no politician that throw money away. No. Any money you see a politician spend, once he enter that position, he must get that money back, whichever means necessary. That's the way it works. So when you see project that's supposed to cost 100 million, they are awarding it at 15 billion. What do you think? Those extra money is for them. That's the way it works. So the project would have done 10 projects with 15 billion. They use it on one project. They inflate everything. It's their money they are taking back without you knowing. So that's why you can't have security, because when they have taken all these monies, there's no money left to procure arms for police, to procure bulletproof vests for them, or healers vehicle or bike and all this, and to pursue bandits, or to even pay them decent salary, or even build their barracks, repair their barracks. So these are the issues. So Nigerians should begin to think out of the box. Listen, if that hunger didn't kill you for the past 2 years or 3 years, that hunger won't kill you for the next 4 years if you do the right thing. But when you don't do the right thing, and you sell your vote to the wrong candidate, that hunger will be doubled. That is the way it works. So let's think. These people asking me to vote for them for this amount of money, it means those people don't mean well for you and your children. It's not about you. It's about your children. It's about your grandchildren. Because you, if we are dying by age, if you think of your age today, you will see that you are closer to going, to live in the world. But your children, as they still have long way to go. And if you don't kind of set the system that can support them to become who they want to be in the next couple of years, they will suffer like you have suffered. That is the importance of this message. Because you ask yourself, why are you hustling? You are not hustling for yourself to enjoy life alone. No, you are hustling to be able to set foundation for your children and keep something for them so that they won't suffer like you suffer. That is the point. And that's why in my place they said every father prays for his children to be bigger than them. So when you are selling your conscience, selling your vote, selling your future, selling the destiny of your children for 4 packs of Indomie or for 5K, what will 5K even buy in Nigeria today? What will 10K buy in Nigeria today? So one day meal, that's what it is. If you go to a good restaurant now to eat food, you'll be spending like 25K just to eat. So what's the point? And you collect money for one meal, and then the person will be there for 4 years and you suffer for the next 4 years. Look at the insecurity situation in the country. Are you proud of it? Are you happy with it? The way people die in captivity. So I'm using this opportunity to plead to Nigerians. Stop collecting money and voting for the wrong people. If you want to collect money, it's your cup of tea, collect, but vote the right person. It is what we make them to stop sharing money. Because if they share money and they still fail, they will learn lesson. Next election, they will decide not to share. So that if they fail, they fail. If they win, they win. That's the way it was. So you have to stop this trajectory of people sharing money just to win a position in government. Because there's no way they enter in that position, they will serve you. They cannot. It's not possible. They won't serve you. They will serve themselves. They must get that return on investment no matter how. And that's what it is. So, Ekiti election, eye-opener. And I think we need to do better. All those people degrading Nigerians, throwing bread from buses to Nigerians. Please stop it. Stop embarrassing us. This world is a global village. Whatever happens in Ekiti now is across the whole world. It's across the whole world. You're already stamping it that truly Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. That's what we are doing. You're already confirming that over 140 million of Nigerians is living in multidimensional poverty. Because the way they are rushing to pick bread on the floor, on the ground, shows a lot. So we should do as much as we can to help our communities, to help our people, and not degrade them. You are not better than them. You are just privileged. That's what it is. And those people you are throwing bread for, some of them will be president tomorrow. Their situation is not permanent. So let's respect our people. So that's my 2 cents on all of this. So INEC, you have a whole lot of work to do ahead of the 2027 general election. So INEC has a whole bunch of work to do in terms of the beavers issues that was witnessed in Ekiti election, in terms of ensuring timely provision of the materials required for this election. Because we saw some cases, some places they didn't start on time, some places before they started accreditation, so many hours has passed, and so on and so forth. So all these challenges, they should review it so that in our soon election, we won't hear the same thing. We should hear something better than what we have had right now. That is the point. They have done, off-cycle election also for National Assembly member. That some issues happen there too. So they should also learn lesson from there. Then the security agencies also, areas they have, or some thuggery and all of that, especially those chasing away EFCC officials. Some of these things need to stop. So we need to kind of, look at some of these issues so that we can be able to nip them in the bud before the next major election coming up from January, presidential election and gubernatorial in February and all of that. So that's what I think we need to do. So guys, I don't know what your take in all of this are. So whatever you think concerning what we witnessed in Ekiti State, please kindly drop your comment at the comment section, and then we'll continue to talk. We are trying to see how we improve our system and make things work for every one of us. That is the major objective of all of this. So guys, before I leave the stage, if you are new to this channel, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell, so that when my next new video will drop, you will be among those that will be notified. I want to say thank you for watching this video to the end. I appreciate your support subscribing to this channel. So I'm gonna see you in my next video. All right, so I'll be signing out. See you.